And we are live, I believe. Let me give things a couple of seconds to boot up. Okay, now we're live. Hello, everybody. My name is Margo, and welcome to Sunday Storytime. We had a little bit of a break for December, but now we are back, and I am very excited to read books with you today. Today is one of my favorite themes to do for Storytime. It's all about snuggly winter clothes. Now, clothes can do a lot of different things for us. We can wear clothes to express ourselves. For example, this is one of my favorite outfits. I've got my silly worm earrings that make me smile. They're orange and they remind me of sunshine and good times. And one of my other favorite characters, one of my other favorite colors is blue. And so I've got my blue little jumpsuit on. Um, so today I'm going to talk we're going to talk about clothing. The first book I'm reading today is Froggy Gets Dressed, and this is by Jonathan London. So before I read about Froggy and his clothes, I'm going to talk a little bit about this physical book right here, Froggy Gets Dressed. There are different parts to a book that help it stay together. So this front part, this is the front cover. And then you flip it around, and on the back, you have the back cover. And right here, you have the spine, and it goes up and down. People have spines too, and it helps us stay upright. Some people have spines that are up and down. Some people have spines that have a little bit of a wiggle in it. But books have spines just like people do. So this is Froggy Gets Dressed. So I'm opening the front cover. And today I have a little fun flannel of Froggy Gets Dressed that I'm very excited to share with you guys. It was cold. Froggy woke up and looked out the window. Snow, snow, he sang. I want to play in the snow. Go back to sleep, Froggy, said his mother. Don't you know frogs are supposed to sleep all winter and wake up when the snow melts? See, I don't like the cold, so I would love to sleep all winter. No, no, cried Froggy. I'm awake, awake. I want to go out and play in the snow. So Froggy put on his socks. Zoop. He put on his boots. So I'm putting Froggy's boots on. Zup. He put on his hat. Zat. He tied on his scarf. Zwit. He tugged on his mittens. Zum. So he's got cute little red mittens. And he flopped outside into the snow. Now, everybody at home, one of my favorite parts about this book is the flopping around. So if all you kiddos at home watching could flap with me. So he flapped into the snow. Flap, 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 flap. Froggy! Called his mother. What? Yelled Froggy. Did you forget to put something on? Froggy looked down. Oops, said Froggy. I forgot to put on pants. So as you see, our Froggy does not have any pants. Extremely silly. So he flopped back inside. Everybody at home ready to flop along? Flop, 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 flop. And he tugged off his mittens, untied his scarf, took off his hat, pulled off his boots, but he left his socks on and slipped on his pants. Zip! Then he pulled on his boots. Zap! And he pulled on his hat. Zat! And he tied on his scarf. Zwit! And he tugged on his mittens. Zum! And he flopped back outside into the snow. Everybody ready to flop along? Flop, 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 flop. Froggy! Cried his mother. What? Yelled Froggy. Did you forget to put something on? Froggy looked down. Oops, he cried. I forgot to put on my shirt. And your coat, said his mother. So he flopped back inside, flop, 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 and he tugged off his mittens, untied his scarf, took off his hat. He left his pants, boots, and socks on. He buttoned up his shirt. Oh, and then he fell onto the floor. All right, Froggy, my friend. You have lost many things. My apologies, folks. It's my first time trying to do flannel board from home. I'm gonna leave his socks off and his shirt. Oh, where was I? Okay. Then he snapped on his coat. Snap! He put on his hat, tied his scarf, tugged on his mittens, and flopped back outside. So we're going to add his hat and his scarf. Oh, Froggy, you are not very good at putting on your clothes. And his mittens. And he flopped back outside. Froggy! Called his mother. What? Yelled Froggy. Did you forget to put something on? Froggy looked down. He had his mittens, he had on his scarf, he had on his coat, he had on his shirt, he had on his pants, he had on his boots, he had on his socks. He reached up, yep, he had on his hat. What could he be missing? Your underwear! His mother laughed. Oops, cried Froggy, looking more red in the face than green. So he flopped back inside. Flop, flop, flop. And he tugged off his mittens. He untied his scarf. He unsnapped his coat, unbuttoned his shirt, unzipped his pants, pulled off his boots, took off his socks. He left his hat on, then slipped on his long johns with a zap of elastic. So we've got Froggy's long underwear to keep him nice and warm. Then he put on one sock, zoop, tugged on one boot, zup, pulled on one mitten, zum, started to tug on the other and let it drop and said, I'm too tired. And went back to sleep. Good night, Froggy. Sorry about the mishap with Froggy here. I will know for next time to do things a little bit differently. That is a-okay. So now we're going to sing a song together all about mittens. I have some really fun mittens here that I got for the holidays. I'm going to wear them to sing this song with you, friends. So for the mitten song, you're going to put your hands up like this. You don't have to be wearing mittens. I just chose to. So we're going to put our mittens up. I wiggle my left mitten. I wiggle my right. Inside of my mittens, so warm and so tight. I wiggle my pinky. I wiggle my thumbs so that when I make snowballs, my hands don't go numb. Let's do that one more time together. So I wiggle my left mitten and I wiggle my right. Inside of my mittens, so warm and so tight, I wiggle my pinky. I wiggle my thumbs so that when I make snowballs, my hands don't go numb. All right, now I'm taking my mittens off because it's a little bit hard to read books with mittens on. And I'm going to read with you another book. Now, this book is one of my new favorite picture books. This is called The Many Colors of Harpreet Singh. It's by Supriya Kelkar and illustrated by Aaliyah Marley. And it's about a little boy named Harpreet who wears a turban on his head that's called a patka. And a patka is something that some people who are part of the Sikh religion might wear. And this is about how Harpreet uses his patka to express how he's feeling and all the different colors that he likes to wear. I really love the pictures in this one. It's a new favorite of mine. Harpreet Singh loved his colors. Bright, muted, pastel, or neon, he had one for every occasion. He wore yellow when he felt sunny, spreading cheer everywhere he went. He wore pink when he felt like celebrating. He wore red when he needed an extra boost of courage. Harpreet took great care of his colorful patkas. He made sure that they were clean and soft, smoothing out each one gently before putting it on. One day, Harpreet's mom announced that she had found a new job in a snowy town across the country. It'll be fun, his mom said. It could be an adventure, said his dad. It won't be the same, said Harpreet. Saying goodbye took a lot of courage. Harpreet also had colors for not so happy occasions. He wore blue when he felt nervous, his heart thumping in his chest. And he wore gray when he was sad, like a cloud about to rain. And he wore white when he felt shy, not wanting to be seen. Lately, at his new school, Harpreet had been wearing white an awful lot. He wore it on a field trip. He wore it for a class party. He even wore it on ordinary days because even on ordinary days, he wanted to be invisible. Do you want to wear red? His mom asked. No reason to be brave, Harpreet replied. What about pink? Asked his dad. What's there to celebrate? Said Harpreet. Maybe all you need, said his mom, is a little sunshine. Harpreet shook his head and sighed. Look outside. No birds, no blooms, no beach, just cold. The next day, Harpreet went to school in white, feeling gloomier than ever before. It seemed like everything in this town was frowning along with him, even the snow. But it wasn't a frown at all. It was a smile, and Harpreet knew who it belonged to. If you can see, her hat has a little happy face on it, which I think is just so cute. I wish I had a little happy face hat. I like your hat, said Harpreet. I like your hat, said the girl. Mine's not a hat, actually. It's called a patka, said Harpreet. Mine's itchy, said the girl. Harpreet laughed. I'm Harpreet, he said, and the girl extended a mitten. I'm Abby. The next day, Harpreet was sure to wear red. For a class party a week later, he tried pink. It wasn't long before he dug his yellow patka out of his drawer. He made sure it was clean and soft, smoothing the wrinkles out gently before putting it on. You can see all of his different colors. I like that Harpreet has little outfits to match his patkas. I think that's really cool. Soon the trees had buds, and the outdoors were filled with the sounds of chirping birds. All that's missing is the beach, said Harpreet's mom. She turned to Harpreet. So what color are you wearing tomorrow? Harpreet thought for a moment. Maybe white, he said, and smiled. It reminds me of snow. Yes, Harpreet Singh loved his colors. He had one for every occasion, even for just hanging out with a friend. Now, if you are interested in checking out this book, there's a cool little afterword about the Sikh religion in the back. I won't read it today because it's kind of long, but again, if you ever check out this book, which I highly recommend, it's very, very pretty. It's got more information in it. So now we're going to try the flannel board again, hopefully maybe with some luck this time, and we're going to sing a little or talk about mittens. So let's count out all the mittens I have here. I have 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then last two 9, and 10 mittens. So we're going to talk about 10 warm mittens. 10 warm mittens hanging on the line. One blows away. And then there are 9. 9 warm mittens, one without a mate. A squirrel carries one away, and that leaves 8. 8 warm mittens. Just 8, not 11. One gets buried in the snow, and that leaves 7. 7 warm mittens. Which do you pick? I'll pick the red one, and that leaves 6. 6 warm mittens, put one on to try. Then you take it from the line, and that leaves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 warm mittens. We had 10 before. A fluffy bunny leaves 1, and that leaves 4. 4 warm mittens, 2 for you and 2 for me. I lost one on the ski slope, and that leaves 3. 3 warm mittens looking very new. 1 falls in the mud, and that leaves 2. 2 warm mittens drying in the sun. A bird comes down and snatches it, and that leaves 1. 1 warm mitten. What good is 1? A little mouse can have a bed, and that leaves none. So we have one more book today, and this is another favorite of mine. This is called Under My Hood, I Have a Hat. And this is by Carla Kushkin, and it's illustrated by Fumi Kosaka. And it's about a little kid and their hat and their winter clothes. Under my hood, I have a hat. And under that, my hair is flat. Under my coat, my sweater's blue. My sweater's red. I'm wearing 2. Sometimes I wear 2 sweaters when it gets really cold out, or like 2 pairs of pants, which I think is really funny. My muffler, which I think is also a scarf. At first I was like, wait, muffler? It's a scarf. My muffler muffles to my chin, round my neck, and then tucks in. My gloves were knitted by my aunts. I've mittens too, and pants and boots and shoes with socks inside. The boots are rubber, red and wide. As you can see, this kiddo also wears 2 pants when it's cold out, which I think is very smart. And when I walk, I must not fall because I can't get up at all. The end. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to Sunday Storytime. There should still be some craft kits if you're interested in doing a little winter clothes themed craft. They are in the Reader's Theater at the library. Next week, we have a very special guest who some of you might know. Mr. Matt is coming back to do one last Storytime with everybody, which I'm very excited for. So tune in next week to see Mr. Matt. Thank you so much for watching this week and reading Froggy Gets Dressed, The Many Colors of Harpreet Singh, and Under My Hood, I Have a Hat with me. So I look forward to, I guess not seeing you all, but I look forward to next week, and thank you so much for tuning in. Goodbye, everybody!